Good morning, guys. How are you this morning? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, this morning I wanted to talk about my weight loss journey. Um, as some of you may know, I was a lot heavier maybe a couple of years ago. And I first started my journey on my own. At my highest weight, I was weighing about 270 pounds. And that was just too much for me. As a child, I was always a small child. I was always a very slender child. And I think like maybe after I graduated high school, I started picking up weight. And then, when I got pregnant with my daughter, my weight went back down because I was kind of sick with my child, with my pregnancy. And so after I had my daughter, I just started eating and just gaining more weight and stress eating and all kind of eating and eating at night and going to bed, laying on your food. It just puts weight on you and it's not good for you. And I was just very, very unhealthy, felt unhealthy and wanted to do something, didn't really know, tried several things. I think the first thing I tried was Metabolife pills. I don't know if you guys remember Metabolife, but Metabolife and worked for me. I think it was Metabolife or Metabolite. I can't remember, but those pills worked for me and I ended up losing a little bit of weight and I maintained it for about a couple of months. And then once again, the eating, the bad habits, and just eating what I wanted to eat when I wanted to eat it, stress eating, like I said, any kind of thing, anything it took to just eat, I was just eating. And so I got all the way up to like 270 pounds. And I was so unhappy with myself. I was so unhappy with how I had let myself get to this point or get to that point. I was an athlete in high school. I played like four different sports. I played basketball for like 2 years. I played softball for 4 years. I ran cross country. So actually, I played three sports. Yeah, I played three sports in high school. And I was always so active. I was always just that person that was always active in high school. And it seemed like after I graduated, things just took a turn. You get that newfound freedom. You're able to eat when you want to eat. You get a little car. You can go to places that you want to go that you normally wouldn't go. You're eating out with your friends late at night. And what I didn't notice was that I was the one picking up most of the weight. My friends were kind of like maintaining their size, and I was the one that was picking up the weight. And it didn't feel good, but the way I was proportioned and the way I am proportioned, I'm more bottom heavy than I am top heavy. So my clothes still seemed to fit decent and I still looked nice in my clothes, but I knew that I had gained way too much weight. And so I would say back in 2017, I started trying to lose the weight on my own and tried to write out a program for myself. Just because everyone kept saying it's a mental thing, it's mental, it's mental, and so I was like, okay, I can do this. I can control what I put in my mouth. I can control what I eat, and I can control and write down what I'm eating. And I tried all those things, and for a while it did work, and I ended up losing about 20 pounds on my own. And I kept it off for a while, but I knew that I had a lot more weight to lose. And I had other friends that were also a little heavier who were trying to lose weight, and we would do the Weight Watchers together. We do all kind of different things together. We try to walk together. We work out together. But I knew in my friend group I had the most weight to lose. So it was just motivating, but not very motivating at all because it was a little discouraging at times when you know that you're the one that has the most weight to lose. So it was always a little discouraging, but I tried to stay motivated and everything, but I kept gaining and toggling between 5 pounds of the 20 pounds that I had lost. So I was like, okay, I'm taking the next step. So I went and got on Jenny Craig. And I knew it was expensive and I knew it was going to be expensive. But the way I told myself was that I was going to invest in myself and it's worth it and that I should do it. And So I went ahead and got on Jenny Craig, and like I said, it was expensive because you had to pay for their food. Plus, you still have to grocery shop because you need food to go with the food, or you need your fruits and vegetables and things to go with the foods that they've already provided for you. So I did that for a few months, and I ended up losing maybe an additional 15 pounds, 15, 20 pounds. So at this time, I'm probably at about 238, 230 something. And so I went to the doctor. I've been hearing about all these things, people being on Ozempic and things like that. And I didn't really know what Ozempic was at the time. But once I did my research, I found that it was for people who are diabetics, and it assists them in getting some weight off, and I guess assist them in other areas as well. But they found that it was helping people lose a significant amount of weight. So I knew that I possibly couldn't have the Ozempic, but I asked my doctor anyway. I was like, I've been hearing about this stuff. It's semaglutide or whatever. I didn't really know how to say it. And he said, yeah, there's other options, and I told him my story about how I had lost 20 pounds on my own, and how I went to Jenny Craig and lost an additional 15, 20 pounds, but that I was finding it hard to get those last 30 something pounds off because my goal was to be under 200. That was my goal. As long as I could see that one on the scale again, that was my goal. So basically, I talked to my doctor about it, and he started giving me other options. And he told me about Wegovy, and he told me also about another one called Zepbound. So we ended up going with Wegovy, and I ended up getting approved for it through my insurance. The medication itself is like $1,700, but my insurance covered most of it, and I only had to pay $24 for my medication. So once I got approved for it and everything, then I found that it was not the easiest to find. The lower dosages at the time, when you first start, I think it's 0.25 or something like, or 0.25, something like that. And that dosage was extremely hard to find. So I couldn't start like right away, and I was eager to start, but I couldn't start right away because the medication was hard to find. So finally, I scored the medication, I think, at Costco. That's one thing that I will say. If one pharmacy doesn't have your medication, you can call around and ask other places. And I knew I had a Costco card. And so I was like, let me call their pharmacy. And what they did was call Walgreens, where my prescription was, and told them, hey, we have the medication and you can transfer it. So I was able to pick the medication up and get started. When I first started, everything was fine. Really didn't know what to expect, didn't know how I was going to feel, but the 0.25 dosage was fine. I did okay on it. Initially, I think I was just, I didn't have much of an appetite. It does take your appetite away. That's the first thing that goes. You kind of almost have to make yourself eat. That's what I noticed on the 0.25. So I did start to drop some weight. It wasn't a significant amount of weight, but I started dropping weight and dropping inches. And I started noticing, little small things in my clothes and stuff like that. So I stayed on the 0.25 for a while, probably about 2 months or so, because what happens is your insurance will start to deny you because they're ready for you to go up in dosage. So I didn't understand that. So I was happy on the 0.25. I was doing okay on the 0.25. I didn't have a lot of side effects and things like that. So then when my insurance denied me, I was like, what's going on? Why are they denying me? And they were like, oh, it's time for you to go up in dosage. And that's usually when the insurance will say, hey, you can't stay here. You got to move up. So I moved up in dosage to 0.5. Guys, that 0.5 dosage, it really started to take the weight off of me. I didn't even really notice it right away until I went to get ready for church one morning, and I put on this outfit that I normally would just reach for, and it was falling off of me. The pants were falling off of me. So I was only able to really wear the top. So I changed the bottom and and because it was a set. And so I was getting ready for church, and so I noticed the pants were really, really loose or whatever. And then I just changed the bottoms and just wore the top because it was like this polka dot set. And I'll put a picture in there so you guys can see the set that I'm talking about. But it was this polka dot set that I used to love. Love, love, love polka dots. And sometimes I used to think that it looked like pajamas, but the way I dressed it up, it looked nice. So I love that outfit because it was different, and I just like being different and like wearing different things. So anyway, I wore the bottoms. I took the bottoms off and wore some jeans, and I just continued to wear the polka dot shirt. And so that's when I really started to notice, like, oh, this medication is really working for me. It's really taking the weight off. And I was getting on the scale, and I noticed the scale was decreasing, but I was still like 220, 224 or whatever. And then I stayed on the 0.5 for about a couple of months as well. And I got all the way to like 215, maybe 215, 214. And that's when I really started, oh my God, I'm so close. Let's get it off. Let's get it off. So then when it was time to move up in dosage again, I moved up to, I think it was 1.7 is what I'm on now. Because I went 0.25, 0.5, then I went to 1.7. So yeah, I'm on 1.7. 1.7 is kind of like a maintenance dose, but I noticed that the 0.5 took most of the weight off. Like I was almost to my goal of being under 200 pounds. So if my memory serves me right, that 0.5 took most of the weight off. I wasn't 215. I was about 207 or something like that. And when I went to 1.7, the weight just kept coming off. But it was coming off slow. But I got all the way down to 198, and I was just so happy to see that 1 on the scale again, guys. I'm telling you, it will motivate you when you have a goal in mind. And so many things ran through my mind. I was like, oh my goodness, had I have not let myself get that big, had I have not, did all that stress eating, had I have not, you go through these mental things, and you say to yourself, this is not something that I'm going to allow to happen in my life again. I'm not. I went all the way up to getting some medication, so I'm definitely in the mindset of I'm not going to let or allow myself to get this way again. I'm going to care about myself. I'm going to care about my health. I even started, like I said, using my grandson as a motivation, as I've mentioned, in a few of my other videos. I just started to use my grandson as a motivation. You have to pull motivation from wherever you can get it from, because sometimes days are hard. You start mentally checking out, and you start saying, yeah, the devil starts getting in your mind and telling you, yeah, you lost the weight, but you're going to gain it right back, and you just start to have all of this anxiety. And so I had to really settle myself and say to myself, Jennifer, you can do this. You can do this. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And, if you pray for yourself to be a smaller woman, if you prayed for these things and God knows the desires of your heart, he's going to help you. He's going to strengthen you. He's going to be there for you. And so I just basically said to myself, Lord, I want to be healthy. I want to be here for Justice and Jalen. I want to be here for my kids. I want to be here for them. I want to be around to watch them grow. I don't want to be, having all these aches and pains and bad knees and bad back, bad hips. And it was just a lot of pain that I was experiencing, and I wasn't being as active. And that's one thing, when you go from being a person that's extremely active in high school and active, somewhat through your adult life, and then you just taper off, and then you just get all this weight on you. In your mind, you know what it takes to lose the weight. You know what it takes. It's just committing yourself to the thought of actually following through and doing what you need to do to lose the weight. And it is mental. It is mental. But this time I brought the Lord with me. I said, Lord, please help me. Help me with this. I've tried it on my own. I've tried going to programs. I've tried the medication, but I need you, Lord. I need you to help me through this because I desire to be a smaller woman. I desire to be a healthier woman. I desire to be around to enjoy my life and the many blessings that I know you have for me. And I want to be here to enjoy the things that I've prayed for, you know. And so I just started really just staying motivated. And at this point in my journey with Wegovy, I am on the 1.7. Still, the weight is coming off slow. I still want to lose a little bit more weight. I want to not only be under 200, I want to be in the middle somewhere. You know, like if I gain 5 pounds here or there, you know, I know that I'm still under 200 pounds. So I'm just yo-yoing a little bit right now, teetering, because I have been indulging a little bit more in carbs and things like that. Like you have to watch your portion still and remember, even with this medication, eventually your appetite is going to come back. So you already have to start putting into place how you're going to, you know, function once you're off the medication. Because once you're off the medication, then you know that it's all on you. It's all on you, you know. And I just been like already putting in mind, when I went to the doctor this last Monday, I went to the doctor. This Monday, I went to the doctor. And he was very happy with my weight loss. He was happy with, you know, me feeling healthy and feeling good. All my vitals were good. My blood pressure and everything was good. And he was just really, really happy with that. And he told me how, Jennifer, eventually you are going to have to, when you come off the medication, you're going to have in mind a plan already. And as long as you already have a plan, you'll be fine. He said, you can do this. And I said, I know. And so I was telling him about, I wanted to buy myself one of those walking pads. And do you know, my doctor gets up and he said, Jennifer, you can buy that walking pad if you want, but in all actuality, you don't need one. All you have to do is this. He stood up and he just started like marching in place, like walking in place. He said, it's the same exact thing. He said, work yourself up to 30 minutes, work yourself up to 60 minutes. Stand there in front of your desk, stand there in front of your TV or whatever, and just walk in place, stand and walk in place. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm going to try to just, do the walking in place. And I've been going to the track and getting some walking, a couple of miles in, but the track isn't very close to my house, and it does require me to get myself together and drive to the track. And sometimes that is a hindrance because, my schedule with work and with this time change, and it gets dark fast. And sometimes I don't mind walking at night because that's why I like the track. It's a well-lit area, and you can walk around the track, and there's many people on the track walking, so you feel safe. It's nice. It's a nice, safe area, but at the same time, it is nighttime, and you do have to remember that. And a lot of times I'm by myself, when I go walking. So I've just been making an extra effort to try to walk on the weekends, and I can have my family with me as well, or I'll go by myself early in the morning. But the extra effort of getting in the car, and I was like, wouldn't it be nice just to have, the walking pad? But now I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to go to the track. I'm going to try the walking in place thing, but I still may go ahead and get my walking pad. So as it stands right now, I'm really happy with where I am. I'm loving how I feel. I do feel more energetic. My knees don't bother me. I have arthritis on both knees, but my left knee was worse than the other one. So I was going to get those cortisone shots in my knees because I didn't really even know what it was. My knees just started bothering me one day, and I went to the doctor, and she told me that I had arthritis on both of my knees. So initially, it was a left knee. Oops, sorry, y'all. Let me turn the key on. Hold on just a second. So initially, it was my left knee that was bothering me, and I would get a shot in that knee. Then it became the left and the right knee. So I started getting a shot in both knees, and those shots basically last. My doctor would only give them to me 6 months out. Like, she'll give me one, and then it'll last me for 6 months. The last one lasted me for a whole year. So I really didn't have to get the shot in my right knee. That last time I only had to get it in my left knee. And now that I've lost the weight, I lost a considerable amount of weight, my knees don't bother me. But I do have my aches, I do have my pains because I am aging. And your body is still going through things as you age. And I just want to be active. I just want to be healthy. I just want to be one of those women that, feel good about themselves and just stay encouraged and just live a healthy lifestyle. A healthy, peaceful lifestyle would be good for me. A healthy, peaceful, abundant lifestyle is what I want. And I know that I can have it. That's all I've been praying for. I kind of like isolated myself a little bit, and I can't say that it wasn't the worst idea. It wasn't the worst thing. My daughter has started picking up weight as well, and I wanted to help her, and she's lost a considerable amount of weight as well. She was able to get Wegovy with her insurance, and so she and I was able to kind of do it together. And I was helping her lose the weight because, when you gain weight and you're not used to being a heavier person, it's not always good on your mental. It's not. The pandemic hit, my baby was at home with her child. I basically told her, hey, you focus on the baby and focus on his needs and don't worry about anything. I got it and everything. But in all actuality, you know, she wasn't being active, and, she was at home stressing and eating, and, we both were just picking up weight. That pandemic, COVID, it did a lot to a lot of people. And, we're just happy, obviously, to be alive because a lot of people did lose their lives during that time. But um, I just thank God for the fact that we were able to do it together and get healthy together. So that's the journey that we're on right now. And I'm just happy to have been able to do it together with her because, you know, um, there was no way I was going to lose a considerable amount of weight and watch my child just go up and watch her weight just spike. I that just didn't feel good to me. And I'm just so happy we were able to do it together. She's looking good. She's looking healthy. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. And that's just the lifestyle that we're going to live. And we are going to keep this weight off because it's our goal. And we got my grandson to raise together. I'm going to be there for her to help her through it, God willing. And just live out my purpose. Live out my purpose in life. I have so many ideas that God has given me, so many things that's planted in my head. And God said, write the vision down and make it plain. And I've written it down and made it plain for myself. I prayed about it. And I'm just ready for forward movement this year, 2025 forward movement. I've already started, putting things in place. Starting my YouTube channel was a big, big deal for me. Um, I wasn't a person that thought I would ever get on camera and talk to anybody. But I just thank God for the confidence and the assurance that I could do this. And other ladies and other people, other YouTubers that were always just so encouraging. I was always watching their videos and I was hearing everything they were saying, get on YouTube, you can do this. You don't need all this expensive equipment. As long as you have a phone, you can do this. And they were so right. After that third, fourth video, I was more comfortable. I wasn't stumbling as much over my words. I I just felt better about things, felt better about my YouTube channel. And I'm still, thinking of content and having different ideas that I want to share with you guys. And I'm just happy that I actually started my YouTube channel. And as I look at my channel now and I see all the videos and I see that I have almost 80 followers, I am just extremely appreciative and thankful. And I will share my weight loss journey with you guys, and I will share, like I shared my hair journey with you guys. That was very, very, you know, that was something to this day I can't believe that I shared. But the bottom line is, a lot of us, we're just not perfect. Nobody is. We all have flaws. We all have things that we're covering. We all have things that we're concealing. We all have things that are, not what we would like them to be. My daughter had the best analogy. She said, "Mom, I saw this thing where they had the apple. It was a perfect shaped apple. And then everybody thought the apple was just so perfect. But when you turn the apple around, it had all these bite marks and just, not rot, but, the apple just didn't look that great." And I feel like that's how a lot of us are living our lives. We want to look like this perfect apple. And in the background is a lot of, turmoil, confusion, trauma. And we're just trying to get through it, And I pray for you that you get through whatever season in your life you're in. I pray that you get through it. And I pray that, we just stay encouraged this year and do the best that we can. And as far as my hair goes, I'm still using the Topic stuff. And last night I made my own concoction of oil because I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I was trying to do a hair care line for kids. I wanted to do that, and I still do. God gave me that vision, and I still want to try to come through with it. I'm starting small. Right now I'm going to start with my grandson's detangler, So I have a lot of ideas that God planted in my mind and planted in my spirit, and I want to act on those ideas. I just don't always know, like, who do I talk to? Do I get a chemist? How do I, who has the money to pay a chemist? Like, it's just all these things that come into my mind that kind of hinder me from moving forward. But I promised myself and I promised God that I was going to not sit on my blessing and that I was going to move forward with trying to get my grandson's detangler started. And also just some other things. I think I've shared some of my little cooking videos with you guys. I never considered myself the best cook, but my family likes my food and everything. So I just started sharing, everything is content. And so I had to tell myself that, everything can be content. Not just one thing. It doesn't have to be your field of expertise. People, I feel, will, understand you more if you're just real, if you're just real. Like when I said I didn't know how to make gravy, I didn't know how to make gravy. There's a lot of people that don't know how to make gravy, but I admitted that I don't know how to make gravy, and I'm a Black woman from the South, and I did not know how to make gravy because I didn't benefit from, living in the South. My mom left there when I was like 2. So I spent summers with my grandmother in Mississippi and everything, but I didn't really get a chance to learn how to cook. And from my aunties, all my aunts knew how to cook really well. My uncles knew how to cook really well. So as a kid, you didn't really benefit from all of that, And I'm learning now, and I'm just happy to, as I go, as I learn, I'll share. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to come on here and share my weight loss journey with you guys, and I'm going to insert some pictures to kind of show you where I was. And you might not even view me as heavy, you know what I'm saying? Because for one, I knew my angles when it came time to take pictures. you had to learn your angles. We used to say that all the time. Me and my friends, we had got a little fluffy. You have to know your angles, especially when you that person sitting on the end of the picture. Oh my God, I used to hate to be on the end of the picture because you just feel like, I can only do so much, to look small. I can only suck it in so much. And so I'm going to share some pictures of myself with you and where I am today. And I just, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with me. And you have a wonderful day. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for all my new subscribers. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the interaction. Thank you for the kindness. Thank you for the positivity. Thank you for my newfound friends. I appreciate you so much. And you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye. So here are a few pictures of me when I was heavier. Some of these pictures are hard to look at because they bring back a time in my life where I knew I just wasn't happy. But it's me nonetheless. And I was able to triumph through the weight loss and coming through. As you can still see, I tried to be stylish, but I just wasn't happy. So here I am now at a healthier weight. I'm happier. And just thank you for watching. And I look forward to the rest of my journey. Love you guys.